Thank you, Warner Brothers Games, for sponsoring this video. What's up, dude? Today, in celebration of Portkey Games' new release of Harry Potter Magic Awakened, I'm gonna be making a full English breakfast inspired by the 3 Broomsticks Inn. And as always, there's no time to waste. Now let's go! I'll start by saying I do feel qualified to speak about full English breakfast, as I was born in England, and more importantly than that, in my 20s I lived and cooked in England, working at restaurants where I served full English breakfast. First off, I have some English banger sausages. You could use another kind of sausage if you can't find those, which you probably can. Next up, we have black pudding, which is actually made from pig's blood. And it's super common and popular in England, as well as a lot of other countries. Here in America, you don't see it as much. Some simple white bread that we'll fry up later. Heinz baked beans, the original recipe with the Z. And this one is actually from England. It's a little bit different than the American recipe. Something happened where they had to put an S on the end and everything changed. It's weird. Tomatoes, or tomatoes. I'm saying tomatoes. I'm going back to my English ways, all right? And I like them on the vine. Most of the time when you see a full English cooked in England, it's gonna be served with a larger tomato. I just like doing it on the vine, but to each their own. Mushrooms, these are simple cremini mushrooms. Over here we have eggs. Everybody knows eggs. And lastly, the bacon. So in England, if you order a bacon sandwich at any restaurant, cafe, what have you, you're gonna be served this, which is called back bacon. It's cured pork made from the pork loin, which is this section right here of a pig. In England, they call our regular bacon streaky bacon, which is made from the belly of a pig. Personally, spending most of my life in America, I do prefer streaky bacon, regular American bacon, although I was able to find the English stuff for the purpose of this video, so we're gonna cook both and we'll compare them a little later in the video. No time to waste, let's throw this together. And some restaurants in England even serve this with hash browns, although I don't think it's traditional, so I'm gonna leave it out. There's enough items here already. First thing I'm gonna do here is cook the streaky bacon. If you're an American, you're gonna have fun saying that one at home. It's fun to say, streaky bacon. If you're watching from England right now, I would love to know if you prefer streaky bacon or back bacon, or if you prefer one or the other for different kinds of food preparations. I don't know. When I'm cooking a regular American bacon, I always just bake it 400 degrees for about 20 minutes until it's nice and crispy, drain it on some paper towel, and it's good to go. If I make one of these at home, which is a rare thing, but sometimes I do it, I'll definitely be using the stove and just busting everything out at once. However, for the purpose of a good instructional video here on YouTube, I'm gonna show you how to do each thing individually so you really understand all the steps thoroughly. Let's start with the mushrooms and the tomatoes, and to do this, I got a pan on high heat. Put in the tomatoes on the vine. You could also use grape tomatoes for this, the round ones, but I like to lie these on their side a little bit like so. And by the way, these are just so amazing to have in a salad, in a sandwich, with some burrata cheese and some crostini, spread it all together. Blistered tomatoes, they're heaven. You wanna drop them in the pan first and then put a little oil. This makes it a little bit safer. This is a little high smoke point oil. It's avocado oil. You could use another one. Just let those cook. It should be smoky, right? You might have to open up a window or whatever. After about a minute, I'm just gonna check. And what we're looking for here is some really black bottoms. I'll give these another maybe 30 seconds. And there we go. Those are done. Let's get them out. And when you turn them out, flip them upside down. If you're not comfortable grabbing them with your hands, obviously use tongs, but the vine itself is not hot. Right away, I'll hit them with a little bit of olive oil, salt. This is just sea salt. And Sergeant Gilbert reporting for duty, my little fuzzy friend. That's black pepper. Straight on. And then all we need to do is let these sit, and they're only gonna get a lot better from here. Sometimes I'll put herbs on here as well. Thyme, oregano, basil, something like that. Also really good. And while that tomato pan is still hot, we'll start the mushrooms in it. A little bit of olive oil and butter. I love the combination of olive oil and butter. Mushrooms in. And with the mushrooms, I simply halved the smaller ones and quartered the bigger ones. The breakfast restaurant I worked at in England, we would use portobello mushrooms, and we would score them, sear them in a pan, and then finish them in the oven, and then sliver them up when we served them. However, having said that, I do love just having a bite of a regular cremini mushroom like this. Once they've been cooking for a minute, I'm just gonna season them, salt and pepper, and continue cooking. I like my mushrooms nice and crispy. It's been about 10 minutes. I'm gonna kill the heat, and I'll get them out of here. I'll let them hang out with the bacon over here. I don't know if you guys really need a tutorial on these beans, but open the top. I'm a bean connoisseur. Let's see how these differ. The English version should be a little bit more savory and a little bit less sweet than the American one. Very mellow, very mild, definitely more savory. These are pretty good. I like beans. Beans into a little pot, doing 2 cans. Can we edit a toucan onto my shoulder right now? Can you make him attack me? Oh! This I'll just heat up on low heat, stirring occasionally. Should just take around 5 or 6 minutes. Next, let's deal with the black pudding. But before we do, let's talk about today's sponsor, Harry Potter Magic Awakened by Warner Brothers Games. And as a longtime fan of the Harry Potter universe, I truly had a memorable and very fun time journeying through the amazing world of Hogwarts and beyond. With amazing artwork, customizable characters and equipment, heated duels and battles using upgradable spells, summoning and companion cards, it's a beautiful and engaging world that's a pleasure to get lost in. Harry Potter Magic Awakened is now available on both mobile and desktop. Start your wizarding adventure today by clicking the link down in the description. Now let's finish up this blood pudding. I'm gonna slice it through into these little pucks like this. Not too thick, not too thin, something like that. Looks good. I'm just gonna cook it all up. That's what it looks like in the middle. I believe this black pudding and most black puddings are thickened with oats, which you can see speckled throughout here. Same pan, medium heat, in goes the black pudding, and we're gonna let it cook. After about 4 minutes, I'm gonna give them a flip. Wow, look at that. Beautiful, deep, rich color. Do the same thing on the other side, and they should be good. Same pan, medium-high heat, going in with the English bacon and our banger sausages. I'm not a fan of how English back bacon curls up like this, so you lose your sear, you know what I mean? And also because it's a little bit more lean, I feel like we just need a little bit more oil in here. So in it goes. Definitely a lot of coagulating proteins coming out of here. Go ahead and eradicate those. Just turn those sausages, and after about 2 minutes, I'm gonna flip this bacon. It just looks so sad to me. It looks so sad. It's really thin, and I don't want to overcook it, right? I think around 2-3 minutes per side, it's all you really need. Otherwise, I think it's gonna get a little salty. That bacon's done. I'm gonna get it out. Out you come. It's nice that we've just used one pan this entire time. Let's get this stuff out. And since the sausages have a little bit left, I'm gonna just cook the rest. Ooh. Keep turning these sausages every 2 minutes or so. They're about done. Flip over this back bacon again. Just not a fan of the back bacon. It's reminding me, I mean, I cooked in England for years, and just the way it curls up, and I don't like it. All the bacon, sausages are done. Out they come. Now, I'm gonna try to get away with using the same pan again. I need paper towels. Same pan again, medium heat, and since that back bacon didn't have a lot of fat on it, which I was hoping would be left over in the pan for the next part of this process, I'm gonna add some of the fat from my streaky bacon, the American bacon, and in that we're gonna fry the bread. Now this is traditional with a full English breakfast, not toast, fried bread. And most of the time people fry the bread in the grease that's left over from the sausages and the bacon. I mean, come on, we're making a full English breakfast here. Like, what are we gonna, just toast it? It's like we're healthy. Oh, I'm gonna eat all that, but if I toast the bread, kind of negates it. No, just fry the bread in bacon grease, for God's sake. Once that's nice and golden brown, flip it over and do the other side. It only took about 90 seconds. There's only one thing left to do, and that's to cook the eggs. You can cook whatever kind of egg you want for a full English breakfast, although I do recommend what I'm about to do, or at least an egg that has a runny yolk. I'm doing my hybrid sunny side up egg. I'll show you what I mean here. Crack our eggs in here. Same pan again, guys. Hasn't been washed once. A little hotter than normal, medium heat, maybe a touch over. Gotta create a little separation before it seals. There we go, there. Perfect, perfect. Even gonna shape my egg a little bit here by crimping the egg white over like this, and it's gonna stick to itself just like that, just like that. Just wanna give it a little bit of a nicer shape. At this point, what I'm gonna do is tilt the pan. They've been cooking for just about a minute, and I'm gonna baste with the grease, not on the egg yolk, but around the egg yolk on the white. 'Cause I just hate when I get a sunny side up egg and the white is undercooked. That is not pleasurable for me. So all we do is we baste around, which is gonna cook and puff up that egg white, and also at the same time leave that yolk looking beautiful and nice and runny. This is my preferred egg. I just love this egg. You see this one right here? That is just absolute perfection. Just about a minute of basting. We're gonna turn the heat off from the pan. You'll notice these eggs are in a steel pan. The only reason your eggs may be sticking when you cook them in a pan like this is you try to move them too early. If you kill the heat, you let them sit there for about 30 seconds, they're gonna come right on loose. And in the meantime, I'm just gonna finish a little bit of nice mulled in salt. That's English sea salt. And a lot of times I'll put pepper, although I'm gonna leave it out right now just because I think it's gonna look better for my thumbnail coming up. Another helpful trick for releasing the egg, or any kind of protein for that matter, is not doing it like this. To start, flip it over. It just scrapes it absolutely perfectly. And once it's loose, as you can see, then just get in there and scoop it out. There's only one thing left to do, my friends, and that's to plate up this glorious full English breakfast. And you have to admit that's pretty glorious. I think it's kind of crazy people eat this for breakfast, but hey, Marcus, come on down, dude. So I've got Marcus here, American dude, never had a full English breakfast. He hasn't tried English bacon and he hasn't tried black pudding. I also think he hasn't tried Heinz beans. So where should we start?
I'll follow your lead.
I'm gonna try the black pudding. Black pudding, cheers. That's just delicious, right? Tastes like the filling of a sausage roll. Good, really good. I like it a lot.
I like it too.
English bangers, son.
I don't really like that.
It tastes all right, but it has a bit of a
Mush.
mushy texture to it. Kind of hard to find good ones in America, but you know, it's all right. Heinz beans.
Not a bean man. Sonny loves beans.
They're just very simple, you know? I like that they're not sweet. Although I will say, Marcus, let me show you
Toast
what
it up.
I would do. Like when I was a kid, this is what I would do. I'd take some of the beans on the toast, get some bacon on here, and I'm gonna get some egg too. I would do stuff like this.
Down for it.
You gonna do one too?
Of course I'm gonna
Yeah,
do
well,
one.
I'll wait.
Tomato.
Yeah, sure. Put a tomato on there.
All right.
I like it.
Let's get
I'll join you on that one. Cheers. You get it, right?
I get it. There's eggs up my nose, but I get it. Oh, I gotta try this. I should have just.
Go for it. Bite it. Salty. See? That's why you gotta be careful you don't cook it too much.
I like it. It's weird. I'm not as good at bacon, but if you want to have bacon.
American bacon reigns supreme. Come on. You can't even compare them. Marcus also doesn't like mushrooms.
Nope, but I eat everything.
Bro, try my mushroom. Delicious, right? I mean, come on. Little mushroom,
I
little
got a
egg yolk.
mouthful of stuff, but I could eat that.
And the tomatoes. I love tomatoes like this.
English breakfast is fun, especially if you got like ADD. You get to eat 95 things.
There's a lot of possible combinations here.
I'm just dripping beans.
Once in a while, my friends, make yourself a full English breakfast. Have a good time. It is fun. Thanks again to Warner Brothers Games for sponsoring this video. You know I love you and I'm out!